All right, let's just jump right in with something that, well, it might sting a little. Most of us, we're using AI in a way that's actually making us dumber, not smarter. And that's a huge irony, right? Because this exact same tech has the power to make you dangerously intelligent.
So, what's the big difference here? Well, it really just boils down to this. Most people ask AI for answers, but the top 1%, they use it backwards. See, they don't just want the answer, they use AI to train their own brains, to sharpen their own thinking. It's this fundamental shift from seeing AI as, a walking encyclopedia to seeing it as a mental sparring partner.
And that's exactly what we're going to break down right now. It's a totally counterintuitive four-step framework that the highest performers are using to get smarter way faster by using AI in that exact reverse, much more powerful way.
So here's the roadmap for our journey today. First, we're going to uncover the biological glitch that tricks all of us into misusing AI. Then we'll figure out how to find our zone of laziness, how to climb the intelligent hill of prompting, then we'll train in the AI mental gym, and finally, we'll adopt this incredibly powerful mindset of becoming an intelligent fool.
Okay, let's dig into the core problem. I mean, why do even the most accomplished people, we're talking CEOs here, find themselves wasting precious time on tasks that just don't matter? It's not a character flaw, it turns out. It's a biological glitch.
And that glitch has a name: completion bias. Your brain is literally hardwired to give you a little hit of dopamine, that feel-good chemical, every single time you finish a task. But here's the catch. Your brain doesn't care if that task was a critical strategy doc or a totally pointless internal email. This leads to what you could call priority blindness, where every single task feels like it's priority number one. So how in the world do we fight this? Well, that brings us to step one: mastering what we'll call intelligent laziness. Now, this isn't about slacking off, not at all. It's about being really strategic about where to be lazy so you can free yourself up to become completely obsessed with what truly matters. I want you to think about all your work in two big buckets. First, you've got tasks with capped payoffs. Stuff like formatting slides, filing expense reports. After a certain point, putting in more effort gives you zero extra value. This is your zone of laziness. But then there's the other bucket, tasks with uncapped payoffs. Things like product design or a really key customer interaction. A tiny 1% improvement here, that can lead to 100 times bigger outcome. That is your zone of obsession. The guiding principle for everything in your zone of laziness comes from Nobel laureate Herbert Simon. It's a fantastic word: satisficing. It's a blend of satisfy and suffice. And the goal isn't perfection. It's simply to stop when the work is good enough. That's it. Free up your energy and move on. A really simple way to put this into practice is the DRAG framework. D-R-A-G. You use it to delegate all those good enough tasks to AI. So you let it handle the initial drafting to beat the blank page, you let it accelerate your research, you have it run the first pass of analysis, and you let it take care of all the grunt work. This frees up your brain for that all-important zone of obsession. Okay, so you've figured out what to delegate. That brings us to step two, which is learning how to delegate it effectively. And that means learning to prompt like an absolute genius. I absolutely love this metaphor. You have to remember that AI is not a calculator. It doesn't give you the same answer every single time. It's a probability engine, a drunk genius. It's brilliant, sure, but it can also just completely make things up. So you can't just ask it a question. You have to carefully architect your prompts so you stay in the driver's seat. The path to mastery here is what we're calling the intelligent hill. Most people, they're way down at the bottom, just firing off random questions. Camp 1 is one-shot prompting, where you give a single example to act as a style guide. Camp 2 is few-shot, where you give it 3 or more examples so it can start spotting patterns. Camp 3 is chain of thought, where you actually force the AI to slow down and show its reasoning, step by step. And at the very peak, Camp 4 is agents, where you give AI a whole multi-step project, basically hiring it as a researcher, an analyst, and a writer all in one. So at this point, you're way faster, you're more efficient, and most people, they stop right here. But the top 1%, they know the plot twist. They know that long-term intelligence isn't built on convenience, it's built on resistance. So welcome to the AI mental gym. This right here is the danger. When you outsource all your thinking, your cognitive muscles start to atrophy. AI becomes like zero gravity for your mind. There's no friction, no load, and so no growth. You have to know when to add that resistance back in.
So here's the critical distinction you have to make. For information tasks, where you just need an answer, your goal is to remove all the friction. Use DRAG, climb that hill, get it done. But for transformation tasks, where your goal is to actually get smarter and build a skill, you must deliberately add friction back into the process. And here's exactly how you do it. Think of AI as your personal spotter at the gym. First, you study a concept on your own. Then, you ask AI to quiz you using progressive overload. So you start small. Quiz me like a high school student. Then, you ramp it up. Okay, now quiz me like a college student. Then, grill me like an executive interviewer. And finally, for the ultimate challenge me like an irate boss who thinks I'm totally unprepared. This is how you build real, durable understanding.
Okay, we've covered the tactics, but this final step, it's an internal one. It's a mindset shift that honestly changes everything. It's about learning to become an intelligent fool. Because the biggest obstacle to intelligence isn't ignorance, it's your own ego.
So what's the real-world power of a mindset like this? Well, how about this number? $3 trillion. That's the rough market cap of Microsoft, a company that grew tenfold in just a decade under its new CEO. How on earth did they do that?
It all came down to this one single cultural shift, implemented by their CEO, Satya Nadella. He basically gave the smartest people in the world permission to say, I don't know, and to embrace a beginner's mind. He switched the entire company from a culture of know-it-alls to one of learn-it-alls.
And neuroscience totally backs this up. It's a concept called neuroplasticity. Your brain literally rewires itself, but, and this is the key, only when it's struggling. Only when you're making mistakes, feeling frustrated, and experiencing discomfort. So, if you aren't feeling at least a little bit stupid, you probably aren't learning.
And AI is the perfect training ground for this. I mean, it never rolls its eyes at you, right? You can ask it all the questions you'd be way too embarrassed to ask a colleague. You can ask it to teach me like I'm 10. Don't be afraid to simplify again and again. Just have the courage to be a beginner. Play the fool today so you can be the genius tomorrow.
And that really leaves us with one final thought. The real purpose of intelligence isn't to stop being ignorant, it's to stop pretending that we aren't. So I'll leave you with this question to act on. What stupid question, the one you've been kind of afraid to ask, will you finally go ask AI today?